All right, welcome back to my channel. Today is really going to be epic. I'm not even just trying to channel Sam Pilgrim here. If you're into 3D printing, you are not going to want to miss this. I have a awesome unboxing here. Yeah, if you're into the Creality K1, that is a puppy compared to what I am about to unbox. You wait till you see this. I don't even know exactly what I'm getting here because I don't know. I'm not an expert on the product here, but this is going to be an awesome unboxing. This is so heavy. And the funny thing is, this is going to be like the guy that built the boat in his basement and didn't think of a way to how he was going to get it out of his basement. Because I'm upstairs in my house, and my print shed is outside, and this thing is so heavy, and it doesn't even have all the plastic parts on it yet. I think I have to print all the plastic parts, or at least some of them still, probably all of them. And it is not a Voron, and it is not a rat rig. I kind of actually, when I ordered it, I kind of was thinking it was a Voron, and it might be based on a Voron. I don't even know, but this thing is a beast, and you wait to see. We're gonna unbox it here. This is gonna be a multiple episode situation because I have to build it. Well, I have to unbox it. I mean, that looks like a beast to unbox. Just to unbox. Oh, 35.5 kilograms. There you go. So that's times 2.2. That is that would be 35, 70, 71, and plus 710 plus 71. So that's no. Sorry. That's 71 plus 7.1. Duh. So 70. So it's 80 pounds. So it's a heavy one. So yeah, I'm going to build this thing. And it was awkward enough to carry when it was this condensed. I'm a little concerned that once it's built, it's going to be really big and heavy and awkward. And I'm going to have to carry it down my steep staircase in my 150-year-old house here and get it down the stairs is the trickiest part. But I do have like a furniture dolly if I need that. I don't think I'll need that. But I'm more worried about the stairs, which the furniture dolly doesn't help me on. And but I do have a hand truck, whatever you want to call it, dolly, two-wheeled dolly. So if worst comes to worst, I'll throw it on there and strap it on and put some padding around it and wheel it down the stairs very awkwardly. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's see, what's my timer at? My phone likes to cut me off at 5-minute segments. I actually just ordered just now. Today I spent my whole day buying other stuff. Oh, let me get back to what I have to do here. So there's going to be multiple episodes because I have to unbox it, which is going to be significant. I have to figure out which parts I need to print. So I have to print all those parts. I need to assemble all of it. I need to figure out what parts it does come with, what upgrades I want to do, because I've been watching the guy's channel that designed this thing, and there's been various upgrades over time, and so I'm not sure how many of the upgrades are included in this kit, and it was pretty expensive, so hopefully they were, and how many of them are upgrades that I'll have to buy later if I decide to. But I believe already some of it will be billet aluminum parts that I could have printed, but they would be stiffer with the aluminum parts. And so anyway, so then I have to build it. I have to print parts out. I have to figure out what I need to print out. I have to assemble this whole thing, which I imagine is going to be a lot of work. And I've also ordered, and I have over here somewhere a. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it stopped me recording. I also have a new Raspberry Pi 4, which was funny. I wasn't even. I had a couple of Raspberry Pi 3s around from when I used to run Octoprint some years back, but I don't really speak Linux. I'm not into Linux. And so I was just kind of assuming that my old Raspberry Pis would going to work, but then I was sort of like, when you put the thing on your Christmas list when you're a kid and you're looking at the catalog hoping you get it, and so I was waiting for this thing to show up. And I'm looking at the ad again, and I see it says Raspberry Pi 4 recommended. And I said, I don't think my Raspberry Pi is a 4. So it turns out I have Raspberry Pi 3s, and so then I go to buy a Raspberry Pi 4, and it was hard to find, and so then I just bought the first one I found before they ran out of stock too. And so that was another ship that was like another $220 for the Raspberry Pi 4 kit. Everybody's probably laughing at me now because I probably could have got it a lot cheaper, but I don't know. I just wanted it to work. So I also have to set up the Raspberry Pi and set the whole thing up to work, and then I need to move it out to my shed where I print. But let's get started. Let's cut into it. My first big unboxing video. I tried to make an unboxing video. I bought an awesome e-bike. I bought an awesome e-bike this year, and let's move this way a little bit. Square on the video. I bought an awesome full suspension fat mid-drive e-bike this spring, and I kind of did a video of unboxing of that, but it was all right. So that's kind of almost funny. I just ordered a new phone today, and the reason I ordered a new phone today is because my old beat up, stomped on Galaxy Note 9 has been recently. The camera says, "Oh, camera failed." It doesn't even beep at me, so I don't even know how much I recorded. So we may miss some things, but we are using that because it's my best camera. Other than, maybe I should also do this with my Insta360 or my Insta180 now that I threw it down the road. But it does still work. Anyway, let's just go ahead this way. All right, so we have Mellow, Mellow is the seller on AliExpress, and I just dropped that down the box. So we have some, what do we have here? Some connectors, fuses, some kind of USB port, and these look like the internals of a USB potentially. I don't think I've ever seen the inside of a USB other than if I broke it. But that's kind of looks like that size. I don't want to say form factor. Looks like that size. I don't know enough about the form factor to say it looks like the form factor. And these are likely the stepper motor cables, 4-wire. I know on another project I did with steppers, there was similar wire. Here we have some pin connections. Connector pins, whatever they're called. There you go. Those are the housings for those. Oh my god, this is going to be so much work. I have to put the connectors together. Holy cow. What did I get myself into? Oh my goodness. Okay. It might be, like I said, this could be a series. As you can see, very nice looking big, nice linear rails. So is this a centrifugal blower? I think they call these. Yeah. What else do we have in here? We have a driver board, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I assume those are capacitors. I'm not an electrical engineer. And so, like, must be the stepper motor driver board, and maybe it's the whole controller board, probably, I guess, the main board. I'm not sure, but probably the main board. I see a bunch of power inlets and things here. I don't want to dig into that too much yet. USB cable. A little more foam. Let's see. Let's get this blower out of here. We got another blower. Oh, yeah, this thing's got, like, two. If you're familiar with the Creality K1, it's got that big, loud centrifugal blower. It's got that kind of big, loud centrifugal blower on the side with one duct coming up the side. Well, this has bigger. This has got one on each side blowing into the center, and two bigger I think they're bigger. I took that apart. I did a teardown of that on the K1 of the blower, just wanted to see if there's any debris in there. There wasn't, so it was basically for nothing. But it was fun to check it out. What is this? Oh, it's got handles on the top. So it's got two handles on the top, so at least that'll help me not break my neck by falling down the stairs, trying to carry it down the stairs awkwardly. At least it's got handles. Another handle on here. These are nice. These are aluminum billet, pretty and hard anodized. Black hard anodized. I guess hard anodized. Probably all black. I don't know. And I imagine those are tapped in there. Probably not helicoiled. Although by the time I'm done with them, I might need to helicoil. If I give them the, I'm going to call it the super R strength, where us hillbillies joke about that sometimes. It's kind of politically incorrect, so I am not going to say the actual term that we use. The super R word, strength. If I use my super R, or if I use my beer muscles, I may break it. What is that? Let's get rid of this piece of foam. There's nothing else in it. Let me make sure. Yep. Should make it. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. Like this little thing was stuck in there. Okay, so this is obviously a pulley, power transmission pulley for the one of the axes. I don't know which axis. It's interesting that there's just one, because it seems like I need like 10 of them. Oh, okay, so I see another one here, another one here. So most of them already installed, evidently. So we got this fan. Some more billet aluminum, hard anodized billet. So I do have a lot of design engineering experience, approaching 3 decades, and these are quality parts. I mean, no burrs, all perfectly, like, nice and smooth. I mean, I guess the hard anodizing is so thick. So generally anodizing is quite thin, and hard anodizing, so like black anodized is typically hard anodized, they call it. There's a few different types of anodizing. I don't remember the spec. It's been some years since I spec'd anodizing professionally or at all. Um, but the as I recall, the black anodizing is I don't know, like an order of magnitude thicker than the, if you do an undyed anodize, I think they call it, which just looks like raw aluminum. Or, whoa, that's not cool. Loose screw and T-nut. Hopefully they sent me some spares. Maybe that's them. So the hard anodizing, I want to say it's like up to 2 thou thick, 2 thousandths of an inch thick, I want to say, while the other stuff is more like 2/10,000ths. Somebody that's more recently familiar with it, correct me on that, because I'm probably off. But as I'm just going on memory from, let's see, I quit that job in 2017, where I was doing a lot of parts similar to this. It was an aerospace company. Designed a lot of Hall effect thrusters, which is really pretty cool. I kind of lucked into that job and learned a lot. But I lucked into it because I had a lot of other experience that was applicable. So, I mean, these are already tapped. In aerospace, we wouldn't even use, well, potentially helicoils, but even better than helicoils. What did they call those inserts? They were a keyed insert. So if you really want high quality threads in aluminum, if you want stronger threads in aluminum, you put helicoils. If you want really strong threads in aluminum, you put keyed inserts. Key inserts. Key inserts, they called them. That was the original trade name. So these are bearing brackets, obviously. So these must be for the tops of the linear rods. I believe there are 4 lead screws, I should say. Wait a minute. I'm not even sure. Is it screws on the... I'll see in a minute, I guess. I don't even know what the Z-axis uses, if it uses linear screws or if it uses belt. I can't imagine it uses belts. It's got to be screws. It's got to be lead screws. I imagine they're not ball screws, but for all I know, with the quality I'm seeing here, I wouldn't be surprised if they were ball screws. So ball screws sort of use instead of just a screw and a nut, they actually have a housing that has little ball bearing balls in it, and so the screw threads, there's like no friction, and you can push a lot harder with them. Here's another motor. I'm guessing that's for the Z-axis because I see 4 motors. So this is an all-wheel drive. It's called the all-wheel drive version because it's got 4 motors on the XY stuff rather than 2 motors. I think typically they just have 2 motors to drive the pulleys to do the core XY thing, but just for extra speed and acceleration especially, these have 4 of these motors. That's a heavy motor too. So I don't know if it's the same motor. It looks like about the same size. I don't really know NEMA. I don't know like motor sizes very well. I don't know. I think like NEMA 24 is the typical little 3D printer motors, but I'm just guessing. I don't even remember. Like I say, I do a lot more mechanical stuff than motion stuff. It looks like it comes with a CPAP. evidently. It comes with a CPAP machine. So when I'm not printing, I can use it to increase my sleeping oxygen levels. So I got that going for me. We got a cable. Oh, I don't have to put this cable together. What's wrong with them? Like, this already has pins in it. That's I'm so depressed. This is so depressing to me right here. This is so depressing to me right here. I have to assemble cables. Not cool. I would have paid. I definitely would have paid. I would have paid an extra $500 to not have to assemble cables, right? To do like little tedious things like that. Like, really? Come on. I really would have paid an extra $500 to have it more assembled. But it is what it is. You want to play, you got to pay. And sometimes you can't pay. Sometimes you just got to work. Sometimes you want to play, you got to work. All right, we have plastic parts here. That's interesting. They are 3D printed apparently because they have a little bit of a texture. Oh man, so I see that this gantry, it is not the badass. Remember I was saying earlier, I was saying, is this the I'm not sure what upgrades it's going to come with, and one of the one upgrade that I was envisioning, that I was hoping it came with, is he's got this awesome billet aluminum I don't know, Y-axis gantry. And this is not it. So evidently I have to upgrade to that if I want that. But I expect that this thing is going to be totally awesome even without it. I remember seeing the video where he upgraded to the upgraded one, and I don't even remember the numbers he was saying because he was talking accelerations. Like I only talk like linear print speeds when I'm talking about 3D printing. So this is my 5th, I think, 3D printer, and so like and they've all just been out of the box, plug them in, put a couple parts on it and run it. And so I never really paid attention to what accelerations they were capable of because they just did what they did, and I used them, and I tried to figure out how to optimize for what they were doing. But I never messed with like jerk control or acceleration rates or anything like that. But this guy is nerds out big time on making this thing just faster and faster and faster. So I'm eventually maybe I'll upgrade that. I don't know how much that rail is. I want to say I saw it for like $80, and I was thinking that was actually not a horrible price because the thing is it's like aluminum, but it's all triangulated. It's so machined out, and it's all triangulated, super lightweight. So eventually I'll probably do that upgrade. So let's take a look at this. We got these 4. Whoa, this will need to be squared. Can you see that? That'll need to be tightened up and squared. So it says, can you see this? So he also upgraded on one of the videos that I saw. He also upgraded the motors. So I'm not sure if these are the upgraded motors or the regular good motors. They're already high performance anyway, but it says super power. My eyesight's not what it used to be. What's that say? Like 1.8 inch NEMA 17 stepper motor. All right, so the NEMA 17. Yeah, NEMA 17 and LDOmotors.com. Blah, 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 superpower. Superpower. I can't go wrong if the motor is called superpower, right? I'm going to put this elsewhere because I'm running out of table space, and I don't want to scratch my wall, so I'll put this over here. Hopefully I don't drop it and scratch that. All right, let's see what else we got under this big piece of foam here. A couple more Mellow boxes. Geez, this Mellow guy's got nice boxes. Nice color printed boxes. Okay, we got a power cable and a power connector. All right, so I let my poor old phone cool off a little bit, transferred some files, and started laying out the edit. And now I can come back and do a little more, although my phone battery's pretty low. And once I plug it in to charge it, it's just going to overheat that much faster. So I forgot to set my timer here. I have to set a timer because my phone also shuts me off at 5 minutes in 5-minute increments. So I left off, and so I just went through the edit and watched the replays there. And where it left off was this box. So I got the power connector, power cable. Then I open this box, and so, all right, I just started. I think this is a solid state relay. I remember talk of a solid state relay, and I would guess this looks pretty solid state to me, and it looks kind of like a relay. So I'm saying this is the solid state relay. Does it say it on it? Omron G3NB21OB-1. Input, load 1, 2, input 3, 4, positive, negative. I'm saying this is a solid state relay. I don't even know what the solid state relay is supposed to do. I just remember hearing the term solid state relay thrown around. I'm kind of, I know what a relay is, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We get some more timing pulleys. Of course, I was watching my the earlier recording while I was is belt. It's not looped. That's fine. So it's funny. It's funny you do videos and you talk, and you do so much talking that not all of it is going to be correct. And so I'm watching the video and I see myself like saying a couple wrong things. Now I'm not even remembering what it was that I said. Something about the lead screws and belt. Would it be belt? No, of course it's not going to be belt on the Z-axis. And I was talking about linear. I was talking about ball screws, and I don't even remember what. So whatever I said back there that was wrong, I realized it was wrong when I rewatched it, and it's like, how do you say things that you know aren't true? I mean, politicians do it all the time, but they're doing it on purpose. Anyway, so here's another billet bracket. We have some, I guess this is maybe rubber feet for the bottom. Actually, they're not very rubbery, though. But this looks like feet to me, but I could be wrong. Actually, this kind of looks like feet, too. So who knows what they're. Oh, that's probably for the bed leveling, because that looks like bed leveling springs to me. And so evidently that's probably what that is. We got some limit switches to how many we got? 5. How do I need 5? Oh no, 4, 3. Oh, the 2 of those are brackets. All right, so we got 3 limit switches. That makes more sense. We got some wire, cable, whatever you want to call it. I say that's another case of when I say wire. These are cables. This is a cable. This is a cable which consists of multiple components, including wire. But the contemporary verbiage that's sabotaging our future communication likes to rename words. And so that's what we're doing. It looks like we have 2 heat sinks there stuck together, and whatever these little things are. I don't know what that is. If you know what that is, put in the comments. I have no idea what that is. Oh, and I know what it was that I was talking about, that I realized that I got wrong, was that this, and I said, oh, maybe this is the main board. Duh, the main board is the Raspberry Pi. So this is obviously just the stepper driver board. And as I looked, as I'm watching my own video, I could see like there's a big processor here of some sort, a big chip with lots of tiny pins. So I'm assuming that's some sort of a CPU for the driver board. This has to be the driver board. I'll bet you at least $1. What else we got? Still recording. How much time we got on this one? Another 40 seconds. This, I'm guessing this is a power supply because it's just big and blocky. Ha! That looks like a power supply to me. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. I'm saying it's a power supply. Now I'm just making a mountain of parts. That's probably not a good idea to just make a mountain of parts. At least it's not carpeted in here, so I'm not going to do like the moonwalk across the room and then zap all the electronics. What do I have? 2 power supplies. Oh, how do you like that? This printer is so serious. It has 2 power supplies. And I hope these are power supplies, because if not, I'm going to look like a real loser. But I'm saying it's a power supply. Maybe. So, as I was saying earlier, my battery is very low, and I can't charge it because it'll just overheat and stop recording anyway. So this will be limited. So I'm going to preemptively say, I hope you liked the video. And if you did, please hit like so other people can like the video, because you'll help them to see it. And consider subscribing, sharing with your friends, comment, ask questions, requests, ridicule me all you want. It's all good. Bad press. There's no press is bad press, as they like to say. As they like to say. All right, so there might be a couple of beverages down right now. So we get some little short sections of 80/20. It's kind of like, Kleenex facial tissue. These are aluminum extrusions. It's really neat how they make these. They basically, if you're ever a kid, did they have Play-Doh? When I was a kid, back in the 1700s, when I was a kid, this is a torque coupling, I believe. Looks to be a torque coupling. Oh, that's interesting design. It allows it to, it's got like a dovetail shape and allows it to misalign. That's super interesting. I'm not sure. I don't recall seeing that before. I imagine somewhere along the way. I don't imagine that's like a new design. But I wonder if it has a elastomeric insert to sort of dampen things. But that's interesting. It's definitely a torque couple. I say definitely, so it's probably not now that I jinxed myself. But I'm saying that's a torque coupling that allows for misalignment, because this can slide around. I don't know if you could see this dovetail action sliding around. I don't want to take it out of the bag because I'll lose it. So it's like dovetail, and it can slide in and out. And it's like double, so it's 3 pieces. That's interesting. And we have all these aluminum extrusions. So yeah, what I was saying was, when I was a kid, and I assume do they still have Play-Doh? I don't know. But you could extrude the Play-Doh. They had this plastic toy that you would put the Play-Doh. Play-Doh was like dough that you played with. Okay, that's not too hard to figure out. And you'd sculpt it. You'd make whatever. It was sculpting clay for kids, right? And you could probably eat it and not die. And it's all different colors, and you could buy little machines, and they had a extruder machine, so you'd put the blob in there, and you'd pull down the lever, and it was like a garlic press. You ever see a garlic press? So basically, a garlic press is extruding garlic through a bunch of little holes, and that's how a garlic press works. So the way they make extruded tubing, they basically take a big block of aluminum, and they put it in this big steel cylinder, and there's a plate on the end of the cylinder with this shape on it. I'm simplifying. And then they put it under like 20,000 tons of pressure or whatever. It's probably 20 tons or 20,000 pounds, but maybe it's 20,000 tons. I don't know. It's a lot of force. It's so much force that solid aluminum squirts out the hole. And the hole is this shape, and it comes out this shape. It's really pretty cool. If you're interested in manufacturing processes, search YouTube for how aluminum extrusions are made. And some of the companies, they can extrude up to, like, I don't know, yay big. Like, I remember looking into it for a project last year or so, and they can make some really big extrusions. I think I was going to say I'm going to leave all these in this foam piece, and I'll pull this out. So here are my, what are these rods for? These are, I guess these are just I'm not sure, but they're definitely, those look like guide rods to me. They're solid. These are solid steel, very heavy solid steel. So those are obviously, to me, guide rods. And I have oh, here we go. Here are these there are 2 Z-axis screws. And these guide rails, maybe they're for the Z-axis. I don't know. So there's got to be 2 more of these screws somewhere. I'm not seeing. Oh no, that's another. Oh, that's another of that same coupling. That's interesting that one is there and the other one was loose. I'm going to put that back, I think, where it started. I guess they must have like thrown this off the Great Wall of China to get to the UPS truck, or the DHL truck, I should say. I don't know where seems like I'm missing a couple screws here so far, lead screws. So these are, I think they're just Acme lead screws, so not ball screws. I didn't expect it to be ball screws, but ball screws are awesome. But they look to me like they're very sloped, so it looks like it's more than one start, which is not surprising even when the K1 has more than one start. I mean, so basically so these are just Acme screws, and Acme screw thread is, instead of like a fastening screw thread, is generally like a 60-degree angle on the thread profile, they call it. Like if you look at the side of a screw and actually focus on the angles of the thread, it's a 60-degree included angle. So like that, this is 90 degrees. This is 45 degrees, so like 60 degrees. And so those are optimized. That angle is optimized for like machine screws, and they bind a little bit kind of intentionally. Whereas if you're trying to transmit motion with a screw thread, you don't want that angle on there because you don't want it to bind it all. So it's a very square thread. I don't know if you could see that at all, but if you Google Acme thread, just like on the Roadrunner, ACME thread, it's a very square thread profile, and it's designed to not bind at all. And this is actually multiple starts. So typically on a screw, it's like one helix that goes up, right? But that makes for a very shallow angle, and so that makes your bed go up and down really slowly. So it's kind of like if you think about transmission gears, you change gears, first gear, second gear, whatever. This has multiple starts, so it's sort of like almost like DNA, like two helixes going up, and it might even be more than two starts. It's really hard to tell. I guess I could probably tell by looking at the end, maybe. One. Whoa, holy cow. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's a 4 start. I didn't think I'd be able to see that easily. Can you see that? That there's 4 starts on the screw thread. So if I rotate it, can you see where the thread starts? And I'm going to go, there's one. I'm going to go 90 degrees. There's another thread start, 90 more degrees. There's another thread start, 90 more degrees, and another thread start. So these are 4 start screw thread. So basically, if it was a regular single start through screw thread and you turn it to raise the thing, it's going to go super slow. So this will actually go up and down 4 times as fast as a single start screw thread would be. And the K1 is similar. I don't know how many starts it is, but I did notice that it's a very steep helix angle, and that's always an indicator of, or I think it's always an indicator of a multiple start thread. And the purpose of that is so it moves faster for so many rotations, because you don't need a lot of force for this. You want speed more than force. But I know like my CR10 and my TAS 6 and even my Ender 3 Pro S1, I believe they're all single start. I could be wrong about that, but I think they are all single start. And with a single start, you really can't backdrive it, meaning you can't generally push it to make it. And if you push on the screw, it's not going to rotate. But with the K1, I can push down on the bed as long as the steppers are disabled. I can push down on the bed, and the bed will move down, and the screws will rotate. That's because they're multiple start screw threads. So this is interesting because I can actually add a little value to anybody with a little... like most of my videos are just kind of nothing too special, just like, look, I'm making a benchy, you know what I mean? But this is actually, I can actually share some experience, some engineering experience here. All right, so we have these cable trays. Evidently the cables will run through here, and then it's a 2-piece thing, cable tray, cable trough, whatever you want to call it. It's been a while since I specified this. This stuff goes back to more when I was way back earlier in my career, when I worked at a place that did a lot of wire and cable manufacturing, and there was a lot more motion and cable management. Due to when you have motion, cable management's important. That's interesting that those were together and this one's not. The end of this looks a little damaged, but I think that's just because they make a big long length. So actually, this is interesting. I was talking about extrusions earlier. Where am I at time-wise? So when I was talking about extrusion, so this is another extrusion, but it's a multiple process extrusion, because so they extrude it out the Play-Doh maker thing here, right? They put pressure and they squirt it out, and then so they have like rollers that guide it and keep it to straight. So, and then they'll have a tolerance for the run out, how much it curves and things, and it's down to science. They've been doing this a long time. So they know what they're doing. But this has a separate secondary operation, because not only is it extruded, it's got all these holes. So I'm guessing they punch these out. That would make sense to me. So as it comes out of the extruder, it does a punch action. Punch, 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 punch. It's coming out the extruder. Punch, 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 punch. That's what I'm saying. And so there would have to be like a support die under this. So this comes out the extruder, right? It's squirting out the extruder, and it's getting punched. But if they just punched it, these would just bend and get destroyed. So there's got to be another bar under here. So as it comes out of the extruder, there's a support tool here with a bunch of holes in the support tool, because you're going to punch through the support tool. And it's probably not very long. It probably needs to be as long as one of these, but it's going to be oriented this way, I think, because so the plastic doesn't sag. So it's probably coming out of the machine this way, so the plastic sags minimally, and the bottom would be supported, and the punch would come in sideways, and there would be a support bar tool here that would support this when it punches, because that's a nice clean punch. So I guarantee that that's well supported. And I'm sure this isn't something that the guy that designed this printer did. I'm sure this is an off-the-shelf thing. I'm just kind of nerding out on that's not a part. I'm just kind of nerding out on the manufacturing processes, because that's what I do. That's how I spend my. That's how I make my mortgage payments. Is I do design work for clients for all different kinds of things, consumer products, equipment, medical devices, whatever. Some pretty cool projects going on these days, and for a long time. The cable chain. So you're probably familiar with the cable chain if you're into 3D printing, but it basically allows you to do cable management, and the thing, it holds it. So if you just tried to have a loop of wire, you'd have a loop of wire hanging down, and it would tangle, it would catch on things and get damaged. So the cable chain, you put the cable inside the cable chain, and so evidently I have to feed the cable through the chain the hard way. Some of them, they open up and you put the cable in and then you close all the little doors. But these evidently have to feed them through. Not a big deal because it's a part. But if the thing's assembled and you have to change it, then it's a pain, because you can't just flip it open and change it. You have to take the whole thing apart, or you have to take the whole cable chain apart. But yeah, so that allows you to transmit. So basically your gantry can move around and the wires can stay in it and be supported and stay up out of the way of everything, and not tangle on anything and not catch on anything and get damaged. This is a DIN rail, typically used to mount stuff. It's just a common profile to mount. A lot of times they use them to mount electronics, but you can use them to mount a lot of different things. It's just a standard sized, like a hat shape. I think they call it like a hat shaped rail. Let me see that. So it's shaped like a hat. If you picture, like, it's got a brim to the hat, and then the hat, and then the brim to the hat. And so that allows you to clamp things to it. It's got all these holes. You mount it to the wall, and you clamp a bunch of things to it. And that's a lot of DIN rail. I'm getting nervous again how much I have to assemble. If I need that much DIN rail, there's going to be a lot of stuff to be mounted to the DIN rails. Holy cow, this is a lot of boxes. I told you this unboxing is going to be in depth. I'm so happy to see a cable that I don't have to assemble. It's multiple cables I don't. Oh, that's what it was. I was calling it wires earlier. And they're cables. They use wires. There's wires in the cables, but that's a cable assembly. It looks to be a stepper driver board, I'm thinking. There's a little heat sink on there. Or in there, I should say. Some kind of driver board. Or some kind of board. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. I'm guessing, well, I was going to say it's maybe for a stepper driver, but that's a lot more wires than a stepper motor needs, as far as I recall. And again, I'm not a big electromechanical guy. I'm just more of a structural mechanical, high detail stuff. But I do have some experience with this, but just not a lot of motion. I don't have a lot of motion experience. I did, 20 years ago, but I was much lower on the totem pole back then, some pins. Those are jumpers, I guess. Those little jumpers in there lets you short or shunt or jump a circuit and change circuitry with the jumpers. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. With all those wires, what is that? What is this going to be running? I mean, that's a lot of, what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 wires on one cable. We are back in action. I let my phone cool off. I copied some more files over and did some quick editing. Not that I did much editing, but just kind of reviewed the footage to make sure that I didn't swear or say my social security number or something. And so there's a weird thing that happens to me some nights, and it's Saturday. And so sometimes my language skills deteriorate over time, and I'm not sure why that exactly happens. I mean, I'm drinking a lot of water, definitely hydrating. But so I'm not gonna do too much more tonight. But we left off at, we were talking about extrusions and things. Oh, and the boards. There was this board with a cable, right, with 10 wires in the cable assembly. That's over there somewhere. So I'm going to reiterate because my phone's going to overheat. And so I did charge my phone a little more. I forgot to put the timer on. Hold on. Yeah, so I just ordered today, among other things. What else did I? Oh, I ordered. Do you know what else I ordered today? There will be some cool content. Is a FLIR camera, a thermal imaging camera, and I actually I've been meaning to buy one for a while now, and I found something today that I was like, this would make a kind of a cool video to do a demonstration with this. And I said, how can I show on a video temperature variation, sort of heat transfer. It's sort of a heat transfer demonstration. And I said, how can I show that? And I'm thinking like, oh, I can put it in water and melt ice or melt butter or melt wax. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just buy a FLIR camera, which I've been thinking about doing anyway. Now I have an excuse. So I bought a FLIR camera. I bought a weight bench. So I bought a power rack last week and built that, and because hockey season's coming up and I'm getting a little soft, focusing too much on 3D printing instead of exercising, and I did buy a new electric fat bike, as I mentioned earlier. Haven't been riding it a ton, and you could say, oh, it's an electric bike, you don't get exercise. Trust me, you get exercise on an electric bike. You just go 4 times as far as you would have gone if it wasn't electrified, but you're still pedaling. Or a lot. You don't have to. Sometimes on the way back, sometimes I might not as much. But you do get exercise on the electric bikes. But I haven't been riding that as much as I intended. And they did the notifications, hockey season starting. So I got myself a nice exercise power rack and accessories for that. And I don't remember where exactly I was going with that. But point is, I'm buying way too much stuff. Oh, so that's what I was saying. What I bought today, I bought myself a weight bench. I bought myself, to go with the power rack, I bought myself a FLIR camera, and I bought myself a Pixel 7 Pro phone. And I chose that. I was going to go with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, but it was astonishingly expensive. Even the Pixel is $1,000. But the S1 Ultra was even more, like hundreds more, and the camera is better on the Pixel. And the whole reason I got a new phone is the camera is failing on my Note 9 here. And so I went with the Pixel, which seems to be a very capable phone, and has an incredible camera by the specs. I mean, so I'm looking forward to that, and my camera not dying anymore. So I think this is probably going to be the last segment. We've got about 2.5 minutes here. So we'll go through a few more things. Like I said, I have these 2 cable assemblies. I think that's where I left off. We have these 2 more. Is this the same? Looks similar. Looks like about 10 wires in the cable assembly and a similar driver board. So, and there's 3 of these, or so far anyway, there's 3 of them. So maybe that is the stepper motor driver boards. I'm not sure. Oh, the boxes are all numbered and lettered. Box 5. Same thing. Holy cow. Oh, that's right, because I have more than 3 motors. This one's heavy. Box 6, very heavy. This is hardware. Hardware and brackets. All right, hold on. I had to see a man about a horse there. So, we have some tiny screws. We have some big screws. So these are all metric. So I would say they're like, number 4s, but they're not number 4s because they're going to be metric. So they're, I don't know, what's that, 3mm? Sort of a wood screw type of deal. Likely screwing into plastic, not entirely proper, but it'll probably work. Now we have some bigger stuff. These are what, M8s or something? Bunch of M8s, different lengths. I'm guessing M8s. I could be wrong. We have some 90-degree angle brackets. That'll be stiffening up our 80-20 / extrusion screws. I mentioned that earlier, 80-20. 80-20 is a name brand for these extrusions. So, again, this is aluminum extrusion. And there's a company I believe based in the U.S. that's big into. They have the big catalog, and I'm assuming they did a lot of the development of these things. And it was earlier in my career when I was more into the 80/20 stuff, and so I was less manufacturing oriented than I am with more experience now. And so I never paid attention to if they're making their own stuff, if they sort of pioneered. I don't really know, but this is commonly known in the industry as 80/20 stuff. It's a very common profile of extruded aluminum for structural machinery, for modular structural frames for machinery. So this is basically just a bunch of screws. This one's very heavy. Got some T-nuts in there and things. Very heavy one, all full of hardware, screws, fastening hardware, threaded fastening hardware. I'm going to try to use the proper engineering terminology for all these things. Threaded fasteners. This is very light. We got some maybe double-sided tape or something. I'm not sure what that is. Probably double-sided tape. And it's probably to mount whatever this is. Oh, ooh, that is, look at that. It's even got his name. Look at Mellow on, can you see that? And a logo Mellow on the PCB. These guys are serious. Fly LCD Gen, what does it say? Fly LCD Gen, my eyesight used to be 20/20 for decades and decades. I still don't have glasses. My whole family needed glasses. Listen, if you want to keep your eyesight, do a lot of things that exercise your eyesight. And I remember debating with people, and they're like, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. No, I'm telling you, your eyesight is just like every other part of your body. Use it or lose it. So I said earlier that I quit my job in 2017. Before that, so actually, like, I quit playing pool long time ago, like 2002. But back in the day, I used to play pool. I'd ride dirt bikes. I'd ride motorcycles. I'd ride ATVs. I drove around a lot. So my eyes were very active all the time. Very active. And even though the rest of my family had glasses, I never needed glasses. And I swear that it was basically a combination of, working my eyes, sort of exercising my eyes with all these different, very visual intensive activities that I used to do, and a combination of just eating decent foods. Like I eat, trust me, I eat so much junk food, and I drink enough beer for I don't know. I drink a lot of beer. But the point is, if you exercise any part of your body and you get some decent nutrition, it's probably going to last a while. But my problem was I quit my job in 2017, and now I work from home for a lot of years now, and sometimes for periods of time, and especially with the COVID lockdowns, that really messed me up, whereas I just wasn't getting out. And that's when, now that I think about it, it was really with the lockdown, my eyesight started to go fuzzy. And so it's not what it used to be. I still don't have glasses, but small stuff I have to work a little harder to see than I used to. And it's a little bit sad. But that's, what does it say, like 51 megahertz? What does it say? I can't tell. Fly LCD Gen. Now I want to look at the camera to cheat. Gen, what does it say? 5-inch? I don't know what 5-inch means. Haha, duh, it's a display. That's an LCD display right there. That took me a long time to figure out. Definitely time to, all right, so we'll do a little bit more before we stop for the evening. All right, so that was the LCD display, and it looked like double-sided sticky tape, probably to mount the display to wherever. And I did need the Raspberry Pi version 4 to run that display. So this is box A. We have some, I was going to say, more assembled cables, but no, this is just wire. I guess these are still cables. These are still insulated cable assemblies, technically, to integrate into higher level or lower level cable assemblies. That's going to be a pain in the neck to build these cable assemblies. Not looking forward to that. We have box B. We have We have another little turbo. It's a turbo. This printer is so serious, it has a turbo. No, this is again another centrifugal blower, I guess. At least the cables are assembled. I'm very happy about that. We have a potentiometer here, evidently, to control the speed of this centrifugal blower. And some more assembled cables. I'm very happy about that. Secret stuff. Ooh, we have a board. What is this? We have big pins. Maybe that's like high power, high voltage type stuff. I don't know. High current. Relatively high current. Relatively. Ooh, look at that. Look at that staking compound. Is that Stiecast? You may have seen in another video that I have Creality is sending me an entire new PCB, printed circuit board assembly for my print head, because in trying to put reconnect my heater into the PCB, the glue was in there. So there's some glue, or I would call it staking compound, potting to make sure that the thing doesn't come disconnected. And so that glue was in my way. I was having such a hard time reaching around. The reach around is always special. So I was having a hard time getting my fat fingers to push the connector in, like behind it, without taking the print head off. And I ended up, and then the glue was in the way. So I was like, I want to take these tweezers and I'm going to pull the glue out of the way. When I did that, I broke the socket. I broke part of the socket on the PCB off where the heater connects into the PCB. And so I contacted the CS at Creality.com, and I said blah, blah, blah. And they're sending me a free entire new, at least the PCBA and the heater module, and maybe the whole thing. I don't know. They're sending me a bunch of parts. This is looks like a stainless steel cable or something. This is probably a thermocouple. I'm guessing this is a thermocouple. That looks like a printer nozzle. I'm surprised that's disappointed that's a small printer nozzle. I'm very disappointed in that. I was expecting the LSD, and I'll let you research what the LSD is on the, it's basically the nozzle on the hot end. That's a little bit disappointing. This is in my extruder, I think, because I see a stepper motor and I see a spring-loaded knob. So evidently that's the extruder. It's a dual gear extruder. Here is, oh yeah, man. Oh no, it is. Haha! Look at this thing. This is look at that hot end. He calls it the LSD. I'm not even going to say what LSD stands for. I'll let you look. Okay, it's not interesting. So I kind of thought it was a big long, like a volcano, big long nozzle. But it's a shorter nozzle, but it's got this big, long, the LSD. You can look up what the LSD is. I'm just going to laugh about it. But so this is the hot end heat sink. And it's actually more than the hot end, because the heat break, above the heat break is the cold end. So it's the hot end and the cold end. So I guess this is the, I don't know what you call this module exactly. I have to think about that. But that is the LSD. Look at that. I mean, think about you have a little nozzle, and you have your heater block with the heater in it, and then your heat break, and then. All right, so what did I do with that box? Yeah, so this was, I was just saying this is the print head, basically, without the extruder. So it's the hot end and the cold end and the heatsink, and the shielded cable here to protect it from heat. And we're almost done here because my phone is getting hot. I can tell my phone's already getting hot. And so my phone's about to give up. And we're getting close to the bottom. And I'm getting close to being done for the night. But, so if you're enjoying this, please help other people to enjoy it by promoting the video so that more people see it. And in order to do that, obviously, click the thumbs up, share it with your friends, comment. The YouTube algorithm likes all those things. It's important to tickle the underbelly of the YouTube algorithm to stimulate it to get the best results. But so while we still have evidently a minute or two left, we have here, this is a big heater, some 3M adhesive on the back. We have, ooh, nice textured big, but look at the size of the bed. I mean, this thing is, this is more than a foot. So it's, okay, so it's like 330 by 330 millimeters by 450, I want to say, on the height. Oh, look at this beast. Holy cannoli. Look at that. That's like, I don't know, 10 millimeter thick. How thick is that? This is solid aluminum. Nice. And it's, you can see it was 4 passes, and they call this Blanchard grinding, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they call this Blanchard grinding, and they have these big spinning cutting wheels, and they just, and they did it in 4 passes. As you can see, there's 4 rows, and they do that, probably both sides. And I shouldn't flip it around like this because would be very expensive to replace. If I dropped this, it would be warped, and that would be very bad. So we have the aluminum, and then we have this. Okay, this is a magnetic sheet. I'll stick this to this, and so then this will stick to this. And it sure does. It sure does. That'll stick to that. And I imagine the heater will be under the aluminum bed, and so the aluminum is a real good thermal conductor. And so the heater will heat up the bed and the base of the bed, and then the bed surface is this textured, I don't know if this is PEI, probably PEI, not sure, but it's definitely spring steel. And here's the support for it. I'm going to put this here so I don't drop it. This is another nice big billet piece. They machined their logo into it. And actually, this is the VZ330. This is not the Mellow logo. This is the VZ330. So that's the guy that I believe designed this whole thing, VZ330. Check out his channel to get a preview of what this thing is going to be, VZ330. A super high speed, awesome thing. So all this stuff is all machined out. This is going to be sweet. Oh, like I said, all hard anodized aluminum. That's quality work right there. This guy's good, man. I admire this guy. He knows what he's doing. You know, I'm just building it. That's nothing compared to designing and creating it. Like I'm just doing a build. This is like, you know, any joker could do the build if they set their mind to it. But to actually design something from a blank sheet of paper, that takes ability and talent and persistence and perseverance. And you can be born with all the talent in the world, and if you don't have perseverance, you're still not going to do much. But this guy is obviously serious player. Check out his channel and subscribe to it, because it's worth subscribing to. It's good stuff. All right, let's pull this piece of foam off. We must be getting close to the bottom, I hope. Oh, we have another loose part. I don't like to see loose parts. Like I say, I think they threw this. I think it fell off the Great Wall of China. Ooh, all right. Well, now we have glass panels. I'm living so dangerously where I just put all those parts stacked up on a cardboard box. That cardboard box is going to collapse, and everything is going to crash down. I need to do better on that. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm living dangerously over there. But all right, so we have these big, oh, I thought this was polycarbonate. This is aluminum. I think it's got a big VZ330 logo on it. I believe this is aluminum with all this plastic to protect it, but I can't see through it, so it's not polycarbonate. That's what I'm saying. Let's put this here. I think that's a safe spot for it, maybe. And we have another panel, same thing, aluminum. Nice protective thing on it. Why is there no protection on this side? That's weird. Definitely aluminum though. Let's put this over here also. That's not going to fall over, is it? Close enough. And now we have polycarbonate. So if I peel this white off, this would be clear. So that's going to be polycarbonate. Well, it could be acrylic. I say that. I'm jumping the gun. I don't know that it's polycarbonate. Could be acrylic. But this is for the enclosure. Oh, we got his logo again, the VZ3. Ugh, I'm already trying to break stuff. We get the VZ3 logo, VZ3D logo, and this one, is this transparent? Yeah, this is also transparent. And we have another big panel here, also polycarbonate, or I should say clear plastic, not sure what composition. More pieces. Bunch of polycarbonate or whatever that is, acrylic or whatever it is. There's probably a way to tell which it is. I'm not sure. I'm not a big expert on various clear plastics. I know just enough to wade my way through it. And haha. Oh, another one. Look at the stray parts just floating around in here. That makes me nervous. Look at it. Two T-nuts, two screws, and whatever this plug thing is. That's a little scary. Stuff's just floating around. How much of it's missing? How much of it fell out the corner of the box? Slightly concerned. Overall, though, very impressed with the quality. I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm very impressed with the quality of the parts. All these anodized parts, I think I saw one or two tiny little nicks in the where in the anodizing where I could, on an edge where I could see through to the bare metal. Fair enough. All right, I'm just going to finish up real quick here. My phone overheated again, and so I can't wait to get my new Pixel 7 Pro, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I'm just going to finish this up. Funny true story, in order to cool my phone to finish this, I put my favorite butter. This is the best butter you can get, as far as I'm concerned. It is so good. I put this frozen stick of butter on my screen for about 5 minutes there to let it cool off just enough so I can finish this video. This is not a paid promotion. This is just out of my freezer as something cold to cool my screen. And the last thing, I just wanted to go back to these. I did want to say, these guys obviously take pride in their work. Sometimes you order things from China. It's all dusty and grimy and greasy and just plain white boxes that are torn and junky and blah, blah, blah. This stuff is all super clean, super nice packaging, very well done, well labeled. There's no, it doesn't, it's all clear English and things. It's not, they're definitely very professional. These are slide bearings, so I just wanted, this is the last, oh, this is vertical. Oh, okay. These are not, I was expecting to see the linear rail guide bearings, but these aren't. These are for rod linear bearings. What's the difference? These are round bar linear bearings, I guess I'll call them, whereas the other style is, what do you call them? That's escaping me right now. It's late. I'm getting tired. But anyway, so these are the linear bearings for the Z-axis. So there's 4 of these. No big surprise. So that concludes. Excuse me. That concludes the unboxing portion of the video series. This stresses me out. I really don't feel like populating connectors with these 17 million pins and receptacles, whatever they're called. But it is what it is, and it's going to be awesome. Once I get this thing built, it's going to be awesome. And eventually, once I get it built and running, I imagine I will be upgrading that gantry. Oh, I did want to mention that I noticed. All right, so this is going to cut out. So forgive me if it cuts out abruptly. So I will say thanks for watching. If you stayed this long, thanks for staying this long. And I'm glad you evidently enjoy it. And so maybe you could help other people to enjoy it by hitting the thumbs up and subscribe and comment and maybe even hit the notification bell. I know that some of my subscribe videos don't show up in my feed, even though I subscribe to these people. They don't always show up every time, and sometimes I'll notice days later, say, "Huh, I never saw that one in my feed." So if you don't want to miss any of this, hit the bell so you get notifications. I know I hate getting notifications all the time on my computer screen. I don't mind it so much on my phone because I can at least make them silent, but on my computer screen, like I don't want to see notifications on my computer screen. But if you don't want to miss this, you might be better off actually getting some notifications, whether on your phone or your computer screen. That's up to you. But comment and share with your friends, and definitely stay tuned.